Welcome to Let Me Clear My Throat Sports Talk Show, where we dive deep into all things sports. Brought to you by your neighborhood Gumbies and Jill's Gentlemen's Club. Let's get into it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the YMCA at St. John Arena in my hometown of Steubenville, Ohio. Get ready, it's race weekend here in Wheeling as the Ogden Marathon and Tough as Nails kicks back off. I couldn't be more excited to have our guest this week, Andrew Henry of the Jefferson County General Health District. Andrew is a resident, or I should say he grew up in Wheeling and now a resident of Steubenville. However, he excelled in both the marathon and the Tough as Nails. Andrew, thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
So let me go back to when you were a kid. What did the race mean to you?
So when I was a kid, the race was all about family. We would go watch the race when I was really young at the top of the hill in Bethlehem and watch the runners come up 29th Street, reach the top of the hill. So we did that a lot when I was a kid. And then my dad, who was a retired Wheeling police officer now, at the time used to work the race a lot, and he would be right next to Elby's on National Road, and he would work the intersection there, direct traffic, and make sure all the runners were safe.
So you played sports throughout high school. Walk us through your college life. How far did you go athletic-wise?
Yeah, so I'm a graduate of Wheeling Central Catholic High School. I played baseball and hockey there, and I was recruited to play baseball at West Liberty. So I played 4 years on the West Liberty baseball team. And while I was there, I met my now wife, Sarah, who is from Steubenville, so that's why this is home. And really, I got into the running piece of it because when I was done playing baseball, I wanted to do something competitive still.
Okay.
And running is a great way to have the time to fit into your busy family life. You get up early, go for a run, you got your workout in for the day, and then you're also preparing for the competition.
Now, did you run throughout your life while playing sports, or is this something you picked up exactly like you said when you were done?
Mainly picked it up when I was done. I really got into working out in high school. Mainly was in the gym, trying to get stronger for sports. But then as I progressed out of the organized sports portion of my life, it was the running that really took over.
Awesome. So if you have two young kids, if you're asking them or getting them into running, what's something that you would tell them early on that they should try and do or work on as they get older?
Yeah, so for me, I am a little crazy. I've actually signed my kids up for the fun run.
Awesome. Okay.
But they're 5 and 6, so we may not make it a full mile. I don't know why I signed them up. I'm just trying to push them to do different things and try them out because I'm the type of parent that it doesn't matter what sport my kids play. I want them to find something they love though. But what I would tell them is to be versatile and definitely, you want to mix the strength training and the cardiovascular all together because, you really don't want to do too much of one thing because then you're going to run the risk of burning yourself out.
Right. So there seems to be a common theme that we've had with a couple of our episodes is coaches and parents alike encouraging their kids to play multiple sports. What did you take from your playing sports that you put into your running now?
Yeah, it's just the overall general hard work concept. When your alarm clock goes off in the morning, you have two choices to either stay in bed or get up and get the work done. And the old West Virginia University head coach, Phil Stewart, used to say Geno Smith was who he was because he didn't hit the snooze button. And that's something when I was a kid that gave me chills. Yeah. And that's what I try and think of every morning when I get up is, you have two options, either hit the snooze button or get up and get the work done.
Awesome. When we come back, walk us through the preparation it is that you put forth for the Ogden Marathon race.
If you're gonna make a run and you plan on having fun, the one place you should know, Gumby's Grab and Go.
Andrew, the Ogden race, it's a half marathon. Mm-hmm. You have two kids at home and a wife and a job. Yeah. So how do you juggle everything and stay in shape and preparing yourself for the marathon?
So with it being a half marathon, you really don't have to get your mileage up too high. Obviously, if you're thinking of a full marathon at 26.2 miles, that's a lot. It's a huge commitment. Right. I'm not saying it can't be done. But when it comes to the half marathon, it really allows you to do a more of a cross-training type workout plan. Yeah. So I'll probably log every bit of probably 10 to 15 miles a week running. which is generally 2 or 3 times a week where I'm hitting the pavement and running. But then I do try and fit in a different type of cardiovascular workout. We have the Peloton app at home, so that's great to just hop on the bike and get a quick 45 minutes. You're not beating up your body as much, but you're also still building up that cardiovascular.
Now, like you said, do you work up the mileage to get to 16? Will you run 16 miles before the race, or is that something that you do increments of?
Yeah, so I'll do it in increments. Generally, if I'm training for a half marathon, I may go up to 8 or 10 miles as my highest training run prior to the race. Now, obviously, there are people who are far more experienced than me that, they may knock out 10 to 12 miles multiple times a week. Right. But, once again, I would put myself in more of the novice category. I'm committed, but I wouldn't say I'm elite.
Yeah. So you're running this weekend with your wife, Sarah. How many times have you ran the race?
Yeah, so I've ran the half marathon 3 times.
Wow.
In all, I've ran 8 half marathons throughout the country, really. I ran with my brother in St. Pete.
Okay.
I ran Youngstown, Pittsburgh, and then this past fall I did a full marathon in Washington, D.C., the Marine Corps Marathon.
Now, once you got your first marathon under your belt, do you train differently? Is your mindset different, or do you try to attack it all the same?
So definitely, after getting that first one under your belt, you definitely train differently and you have a different mindset. I certainly say that. So I ran the first one back in 2016, and my time from 2016 to now has probably taken every bit of 20 minutes off.
Wow.
Just because of a learning experience that first time, and then crafting your training program to what fits your life and to what you need to improve.
Now, is there something you're shooting for personally this weekend, a goal, something you have set for yourself?
Yeah, so for me, this year I'm not running the half, I'm going to do the tough as nails.
Okay.
So it's a timed race technically, but there's really no awards or anything like that. It's more of you finished the tough as nails race. But if I were running the half, it's always a goal of mine. I'd like to come in somewhere around an hour and 30 minutes would be my ultimate finish goal. Closest I've come to that is an hour and 45 minutes.
Okay.
So if I could at least some point in my life knock off 15 minutes and break that 130 threshold, I'd be happy.
So you mentioned the tough as nails. What is the training like for that? Is it any different than the marathon?
Yeah, it's a little different. So the tough as nails, the entire course last year, it was between 5.5 and 6 miles. I believe it's advertised as 6, but checking my watch on the GPS, it came in around 5.8 miles. Okay. But nonetheless, yeah, you definitely need to do a little bit more strength training included with your running, which is what I enjoy, especially playing sports. I was kind of a gym rat, so one, I'll say, downfall of my running ability is I like to spend too much time in the weight room. Okay. So this allows you to get a little bit of both of that.
What are some of the activities that you have to do as you run through the tough as nails?
Yeah, so last year the first obstacle I'll say was the fire hose carry. And you have to, I'll say it's shorter than a city block that you're carrying that fire hose around, then you're on to the next one. So you get that, you kind of do like the barbed wire, but it's rope instead of barbed wire. Obviously they don't want people getting hurt. You have to climb up this massive set of stairs that is from like the bottom of the Tunnel Green area all the way up to the top of the hill above the Wheeling Tunnel. So that staircase is massive. And then after that you have to climb the rope at the Nelson Jordan Center and climb up the stairs at the parking garage. So there's a mix of that plus some monkey bars and things like that.
So the weather's going to be a little cooler this weekend. Does that help you out at all, or are you prepared for if it was, let's say, 90 degrees?
Yeah, it definitely helps you out. I'll say I've ran the half marathon on a Memorial Day weekend where by 8:15 it felt like it was 100 degrees out. Right. So this will feel awesome.
Yeah. Looking back one more time as you were a kid, the tough as nails wasn't there, but do you encourage people to get out there, support the racers, encourage people to get out there and just make a party of it all?
Yeah, it definitely makes the running experience much better when the community supports the race. I saw on social media this morning Dupe Scoops, which is the new ice cream shop on National Road. The The DePlaga family has a long history of supporting the race. I saw, he was saying how his family at generations used to be at the bottom of the hill supporting people before they tackled that last big hill. And he wants to do the same thing at his ice cream shop. So you can see it's all about family. And if people come out and support the race, you're going to make it a better running experience for the participants.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your time today and setting us up here at the YMCA. Best of luck this weekend, and good luck to all the racers as well.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
This Memorial Day weekend, the Ogden Newspaper's Wellness Weekend, presented by WVU Medicine, kicks off Saturday, May 24th with the 47th Half Marathon Classic Run and Walk, the 5K Run and Walk, Tiny Tot Trot, and the Ogden Fun Run, sponsored by WVU Medicine Children's, plus a new edition, Rovers on the River Dog Walk, presented by Play and Stay Pet Camp. Sunday, May 25th, starts with the Wheeling Heritage Trail Bicycle Tour, followed by the Toughest Nails Urban Challenge, presented by the Health Plan. Register at OgdenWellnessWeekend.com.
Jill's Gentlemen's Club is Ohio Valley's party headquarters. There's nowhere better to have a party than Jill's Gentlemen's Club. We specialize in making sure your group experiences a one-of-a-kind night. When looking for quality entertainment, Jill's Gentlemen's Club is the place to be. Jill's Gentlemen's Club, a class act.
That's a wrap for Let Me Clear My Throat Sports Talk Show. Big thanks to our sponsors, your neighborhood Gumbies and Jill's Gentlemen's Club. Until next time, stay loud, stay proud, and keep the game strong.